Alexander will go get Ratford Cheesington checked out. It is gonna go.
Alexander goes, Percy, telekinetic blast.
Right into the eyeball from this dumb rat. But there it goes. That's where those two are gonna be in the beaten time. As it just leaves Noah, Jane, and Artemis and Samson. I'll say Jane is just gonna.
Yeah, Noah and Jane were going to Noah's house at the end of the last
right.
session.
That's right.
Yeah.
The two of you will go there, and I'll say for the time being, we're gonna do a brief time skip because it will be around a week before you get your audience with the princess.
So they.
Stop consuming that.
It's slop.
That plebeian blood diet.
Watch this. Kills Ishmael. Now this is Kino.
You do manage to
Ishmael
sate
tastes very
the
bad.
hunger, the thirst for another
Ishmael
day.
seems like he drinks like 200 monsters a day. I think his blood tastes.
Yeah, but
Like,
he has mythic.
different.
He has a mythic path, so he's like fucking divinely blessed.
He is like also kind of like the Human Torch, but magma. So
Oh.
he
Wait,
does
so
have
he's just-
earth and fire.
He's-
Oh my god, Ben Grimm X Johnny Storm fanfic?
Because earth and fire, I figured story-wise as the best way to capture the fact that he has got like magma, like a kind order. It's kind of like no man's land, so it's like if you're leaving, just know you are gonna be considered existential threat to everyone around you.
Okay, in that case, Artemis doesn't really know what to do other than if she were to take direct action, which she can't. So she's just gonna ask Alvarine to look into it for the week while she continues studying. So not much else than that.
Gotcha. Then in that case, you calm your anxieties and your urge to consume blood over the course of the week. 1 week down, another week ahead of you, after a tumultuous few short days that had happened to you. After all, it was a lot to both process the events of what happened on the newspaper and also what was going on with the Silver Czar and the Mirror. But he wouldn't want any of them sent out anywhere, like to like any facility.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah is more in line with Isaac, more or less, but pretty much a little bit more extreme, in that like reflections should just be exiled from the country itself, and not just be sent to a facility. So you go talk to these students, and like I said, majority of them do believe reflections are just people. So they all like Brody. You get the feeling that liking Brody has more of a sway on the matter than just this hypothetical.
Right.
I can't tell you the exact numbers, but let's just say like it's like, you know,
A majority?
yeah, like let's just say like 40%. With the other two kind of narrowing out.
Find some of the people who were brought in to help when he was born, because he did some thinking and he came to the conclusion that he is like equally a case of someone who should not be alive if it wasn't for a lot of clusterfuck magic and science being thrown at him when he was born. So he tries to find some of those people to, in case, like, to prepare for the future when they do have to make the case for their reflections, to try and use himself as an example of someone who, like, equally shouldn't be alive and is a being of magic, and, like, he's not, like, a troublemaker, and, like, he's not, like, a threat to people, even though he is arguably more dangerous and less in control than the average reflection he's met.
Right.
Pre-prepared talking points, if it comes to that. So, like, if you can find, like, any, like, of the mages or, like, doctors or anything that were around to, like, help save his life when he was born, he would try to do that if any of them are in the capital, and like try to like prepare them to bring in as like trump cards. But if he can't, he'll just like spend time mostly scouting the academy for where they're keeping the mirror.
Understandable. It is a lot, and now that you are about to attend a meeting with the princess, something your mother and father have definitely done before as members of the nobility, and also with your father having contributed to the services of the princess, this isn't anything spectacularly lore and the mythology told. You see a number of very beautiful statues, and some of the students believe some of these statues could be animated and come to life to protect the royal family and its denizens here in its hour of need. And as you all continue to make your way through, you do notice that there is not a lot of soldiers. There are a couple of royal guards, and these royal guards essentially are donned, and if any of you are familiar with the elvish armor from like Lord of the Rings, if any of you have seen the first movie, like basically how those elves, how that armor looks, they are basically wearing that. They're all equipped with longbows. They're all equipped with falxes, which are these very long. They're like basically like a slightly curved, hooked sword shape. And they are patrolling the premises. They acknowledge your guys' presence as Ashari, which just kind of spring up and kind of crawl along the wall, as vegetation like this is bound to do. But there's a sort of control, not in the sort of authoritarian style, but more so in a like a equilibrium. That there is an acknowledgement between the stone and the vegetation that one will not overcome the other, and that they have their equal spaces, and they should keep to their own spaces. There's a lot. There's trees growing here, and you don't sense that there is like any sort of like modern internal ventilation. Like although the building is designed to keep cool wind inside and hot wind outside. It is a like I mentioned earlier, it's a technological marvel. The way all of this has been constructed to make sure all of you feel a nice, cool temperature. They have their equal spaces, and they should keep to their own spaces. There's a lot. There's trees growing here, and you don't sense that there is like any sort of like modern internal ventilation. Like although the building is designed to keep cool wind inside and hot wind outside. It is a like I mentioned earlier, it's a technological marvel. The way all of this has been constructed to make sure all of you feel a nice, cool temperature. And so, after navigating through this series of strongholds, one of the most well-defended citadels in the whole of the solar system, you will make your way over to the private temple of the Zeldris dynasty, where the family often attends, not only just for general services, but also for weddings, funerary rites, and more. And that is where we'll transition to the scene.
Then. With Silverwall, initially we went there on a mission to just to handle some of the Laskarid soldiers that had infiltrated a facility inside Silverwall. And upon going in there and handling with the Laskarid threat and a few other Fredonian combat divers, we escaped with a powerful artifact that belonged to he's called the Tsar of Silverwall, but he doesn't really accept that title. That's just what people call him. Oh, the music. Oh, okay. Music's back.
She does nod as you do continue explaining.
Be on his own and not really be bothered, but I was able to convince him to, if you would allow it, some sort of alliance, at least albeit temporarily, between him and his forces and the people of the High Ever, merely against the threat of the looming threat of the Laskarids. Well, I understand that you and him don't really see eye to eye, but it is a common enemy that the both of you share. He really detests and dislikes the Laskarid forces as well.
She'll look to Noah and Artemis, who goes, "Do the two of you have anything to add to this? Then you would have gone through channels and means that would not have involved subterfuge or deception like this. I say deception because I understand none of you were intentionally lying. I know you were all good people, but nevertheless, you did go through this through black channel means."
Respectfully, Your Highness, if I may, we did not claim to speak on your behalf. We went to Silverwall with the intention of getting back information that was threatened to blackmail the Rain clan with, and who are our friends and Lucia's family.
She looks over to Isaac, and Isaac he does not have his eyes on Griselda. He's just looking down, which is just general. It's a cultural thing. Men are meant to lower their gaze in the sight of the princess.
Mm-hmm. Was to betray the Ashari and steal a mirror from them, something which we would never do. So you see how that placed us in quite a precarious situation as well.
She'll kind of mull over those words.
Artist also go. It, I think, should be noted that we simply could not trust the official channels to handle our pleads and requests with the respect that we believe they deserved. We could not trust our the Ashari, the board, or government channel.
If he was ready and willing to kill my own father for it, I see no reason why he wouldn't be able to do the same with me. I have enemies everywhere, but I'm not exactly willing to resort to authoritarian means to preserve my own life. But also does not mean I wish to let small cracks through our defenses like this. If I can't even trust the students of my own organization to be trustworthy and transparent, even if you all felt as though you could not trust members of your own institution, nevertheless, this is something you all should have handled internally. No? Do you think I haven't received any scolding from Mr. Zyphon over there for undergoing missions in private and in secret, even if it was against the best wishes of those around me? She'll look over all of you once more.
Necessary, and all of our classmates will maybe have their identities revealed.
I would not enjoy the prospect of sending in agents to investigate and apprehend students who are otherwise perhaps ignorant of their own true origin. I would not want to instill that sort of fear inside my own kingdom to my own citizens.
I would also like to mention that we, as of now, have no proof that the Tsar's information is credible. Locking up students based on the information of a foreign adversary would look rather bad, especially if one of those students turns out to not be a reflection.
She's gonna look over back at the mirror before looking back at all of you.
Before speaking out, I'm not a diplomat here.
No, you're fine, Artemis. All of us have our own involvement in all of this. And I will say, Princess, the order to do all this was given out by me. I'm the one that, I guess you could say I was not thinking rationally when I had thought this through, but we're here now, and I don't regret going and meeting with him and coming to this conclusion. And I apologize for the stress and the way I probably or definitely put on your shoulders. I had not realized the political repercussions of doing such a thing.
To Lucian says, what would you have me do? Hand the Bremen mirror to a threat I don't quite understand, one that underestimates me and puts me at a similar level to that of Alexius or the Phoenix King.
Respectfully, Princess, I think both options result in you looking weaker to some extent. If the kingdom keeps rounding up people based on nothing but the information of a foreign threat, what does that make you look like?
She will nod at that. I need one of you to roll diplomacy and one of you to aid in diplomacy. No bonuses, no bonuses, no penalties. They even themselves out. In matters of distress like this, does not necessarily build bonds of friendship or camaraderie in the long term. I cannot allow you to all leave unpunished. So, 2 weeks suspension, and I will have Xiphon visit the Rain household later on to give you all additional notices as to what's to come next. Am I understood?
Yes, Princess Griselda. Thank you for meeting with us today.
Isaac looks pale.
Before I give him a pat on the back.
He's been teleporting sweat off of his face.
Hearing suspension to him, it is hit him hard.
Devora just pats him on the back and is like, it'll be okay.
He looks at Devora.
You can still do homework.
He looks at Devora and just nods, but he is like stiff as Devora pats him.
Being underestimated is your best friend to make strong moves against your opponent. You look weak now, but well, I think if you are deft enough, you'll be powerful much more into the future.
She will take your words into consideration, and she nods thoughtfully. As she looks upon your very, very, very physically capable physique.
She gives a Dale Cooper thumbs up.
But she keeps her radiant smile once again, and it brings perhaps all of you a sense of calm, in spite of the very perhaps stern judgment. She is the head of state, and she is giving you the punishment in place of what the Board of Education would have given you, of course. Transparency and a measure of healthy democracy is always needed within the institution. I say, as a monarch, I understand my position is one of irony, not that I've said it aloud, but it is not lost on me. And I do have elected officials to guide me in every step of the way. My voice is not absolute, nor is my authority that of the whole of the Terminator line. But I do request help when it is needed. I do appreciate all of you going out of your way to do this in the name of goodness at the end of the day. Because all of you could have resorted to something more hideous or heinous in the name of something more selfish. So I'm grateful all of you have a measure of benevolence in your heart. Resorted to something more hideous or heinous in the name of something more selfish. So I'm grateful all of you have a measure of benevolence in your heart.
Thank you so much, Princess. If I may deliver one more message on behalf of the Silver Storm. He has shown interest in taking Mr. Dane in to study the reflection anatomy. Well, it is a rare opportunity to have one in custody and alive.
I will send out Mr. Xiphon to go negotiate such matters with your Lord Father, and hopefully we will come to an easy agreement. We've met a wide range of people, and I'd like to think, regardless of their creation, be it at the hands of humans or born of humans, or born of any other ancestry that connects us all together, that we have a bit of goodness in each of every one of us, and I'm willing to judge them on that, than superficial or perhaps cultural prejudices.
I see. That's good to hear.
I'm going to do what I can to help your friend Brody.
Of course. I was just curious about where you stand on the matter. I've spoken with almost every student of Cloudspire and the professors, and they all have a wide array of opinions on the matter. It's just nice to hear your opinion on it all.
But I'm not going to intercede on behalf of Ashari business and make my presence known in such a way. It will only create a measure of tension between myself and the elders of your fine institution.
Of course.
They may have their own opinions on the matter, some of them different, some of them similar to your own, but it is something you all have to work out amongst yourselves. And I will be there to give my opinion, and I'm sure regardless of whether or not I intended to or not, it will have an influence on everyone, but I do not wish to make that an active effort. I do not wish to play political theater in your own institution.
Of course. And if you need any of our testimonies for your purposes, we're happy to share.
Hands of Lord Alexius. So, please, when you return home, pack all of your... And he'll look around. Pack all the items necessary. In fact, everything you can get. I will make an arrangement with the Lord Hawkwood right now and inform him of your imminent arrival soon. It is about 2, 3, perhaps 4 or 5 days' ride to Whitestone.
Okay. I will go. Once we get back, I'll inform our driver.
Very well. Thank you all. And, of course, I appreciate everything you have done in the name of the Ashari and that of the kingdom.
It is our honor to serve.
And he will pat Lucia and Noah lightly. But you were. Lessen his suspension? Well,
That's
all
not
of you.
really.
You were quite literally asking for a special exemption for him.
Well then, maybe an equivalent exchange.
This
Lessen-
isn't alchemy.
No, like that. Lucy's kind of smirking as she says, "Perhaps extend my suspension and lessen
No.
his." Oh,
Leave. Go pack your items.
yeah,
Or have Osmond Fram splash you with water.
He doesn't have to. Thank you, Zyphon, and again, apologies for everything, Princess Griselda. And Lucy will bow.
And he will nod as he was about to put in his smoking pipe. He remembers where he is. I'll have to think about it, but I do have Rose to look after, and I think I could try to return to the Forest of Darkness to continue my training.
You know what? Use these 2 weeks to as an excuse to really train in the Force of Darkness without having to worry about your studies for too bad.
And try not to get too carried away while you're over in Whitestone, okay?
What would I get carried away with?
The Lord Hawkwood is an accomplished Argonaut. Even if he is of a vampiric nature. As you overhears the conversation Artemis and Noah has.
Lucia blinks. Lucia blinks at Isaac and goes, "I don't know what I would get carried away with."
I'm just saying, Rose does not need a vampiric mother coming back to her, okay?
I'm not gonna be a vampire.
He's a very handsome man.
I meet a lot of handsome men.
He crosses his arms. He kind of humps.
I met a lot of handsome men, but none are more handsome than you. And she's gonna pinch his cheek.
He flushes.
Come on, let's go pack our things. Hopefully Jane and Alexander are doing their own thing. And meanwhile, the Jane and Alexander subplot, they're like in hell fighting demons.
Yeah.
They went through the wrong door in the Hood house, and now they're like in the astral plane. They're trying to get out.
They're in the fucking. Louis just haunted
They're in,
house.
they're in the worst place of all, Germany.
I'll have to.
And but not just to Whitestone itself directly. You guys are heading toward a particularly famous village, one Artemis has heard about in stories from her uncle. The village of Hakonstead. For that
Oh
is
my
the
God.
Boy.
For that is the first location you'll be stopping by, and eventually where you will meet the Lord Hawkwood. And in terms of address, I should probably mention, he is the head of his house, so you can refer to him as just Lord Hawkwood. You can also say Lord Aiden. You can interchange with that. It's just a little cultural formality thing that most of your characters or all of your characters should know at this point to distinguish. It's a little roleplay thing. But let me go ahead and double check. I feel like I was missing something. I hate the other Percival. Is there God, what was it? The Dorolo family somewhere? Probably. I don't know. They're somewhere around Whitestone.
We enter the city and there's a big tree with 5 corpses hanging from it.
But as you guys are in the carriage, Adnus will inform you and says, "We're getting close to one of the inns. I suggest we stop by before we head by to Hakonstead proper. Sound good with you all?"
You think so?
I mean, it was a place that the famous Band of the Stars stopped by when they gathered to rally against the wicked witches of Baba Yaga.
Oh. Okay, yeah, cool. You can check it out.
Awesome. And who will continue to move on, and I'll go ahead and transition
Go up
us
to him. He's like, we're like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm standing.
I mean, y'all can talk to him. It looks over at Adnus. He waves over at Adnus. They look like these two know each other.
You know that guy at this?
Yeah, we used to run jobs when we were both in the Thieves Guild.
Oh, word? Okay.
Yeah,
He seems pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't know his family name, but he's called Calvin the Cool.
Whoa.
Yeah. He's done some crazy things.
Okay.
We go back.
He's done crazy things as he sits next to a river and he's just fishing.
You just have to believe Adnus's word.
This is like the most boomer-esque thing. It's like, yeah, me and him, we used to get up to all kinds of crazy shit, and he's wearing sunglasses while fishing.
Hello there, how can I help?
Hello.
Hey, I also got that language.
I'll just go, we're just trying to pass and go to the inn. Is that
Well,
all
why
right?
didn't you say so? Alright, come on then, friend.
I'm splendid.
Why did he seem way more talkative?
Because he's more fluent in Jotun.
Huh.
Oh.
And he assumes the position
you
back on the
that?
bridge.
You guys assume
Adnus?
it because he's
Did
a
Adnus
nice
not want to
guy?
follow us?
Oh no, Adnus is following.
Okay.
He dabs up the troll and then he goes by.
He does a Lakitu skip.
You as you walk, you see these
No,
two
not
turning their
him
heads
again.
towards you.
He gave this fucker.
There's some
space prophecy.
there's some old man priest, mechanical priest talk happening as they're
This Adnus showed like
turning their heads towards you.
He gave this fucker.
There's some
space prophecy.
there's some old man priest, mechanical priest talk happening as they're
This Adnus showed like recognition.
he does. There's recognition in his eyes. He goes, Artemis, it's best we go past these guys, you know.
You guys get a
are they-
table. I'll get
Are
us
they
some
allowed to
food.
be here?
I think they're like part of a religious order, so like they're kind of exempt. But also, I have heard stories of people like them getting lynched.
Oh.
Yeah, no, straight up like We're talking like empty barn, rope, and everything.
No. Ah. Oh.
Sometimes they're treated worse than vampires. Can you believe that?
Grow, but not that they don't grow.
Funnily enough, it is an assumption, but you get the feeling that with these specific dragons, being diminutive is this is as big as they get. They get as big as a cat. So when they're babies, they're like the size of kittens.
It must be like over 30 years old.
Yeah.
It just says, doesn't you say yeah in common?
Yeah.
I imagine sometimes Artemis just gets gibberish thrown at her.
Yeah, straight up.
You ever seen that clip of people who don't know English trying to speak English, like faking them knowing English?
That's a Tassi. Happy.
No. Bad words.
I have failed all of you.
I'm just staring at them. This is an interesting phrase to have picked up.
Speech. The divorce. Oh, okay. Any language. Okay, never mind.
It's like finding old notes from your father, except I guess in vocal stems from this dragon.
And you hear, by the storm!
I mean, that one I can understand picking up on if he says it a lot, but the failure one, either he really said that often, or it's something that's stuck with the dragon here.
I guess in vocal stems from this dragon.
And you hear, by the storm!
I mean, that one I can understand picking up on if he says it a lot, but the failure one, either he really said that often, or it's something that's stuck with the dragon here.
He said it was someone, the dragon was someone to lean on. But I probably shouldn't share about it.
I'm not trying to do a deep dive on your father figure. I'm just...
It is a depressing fact to learn. He stares pitifully at Atasi.
Atasi just nothing but bright and beaming. got little teeth showing as she's smiling. Of course. To the Dust Dusters, saviors of Hope Haven, and I hear wondrous stories of what you've done for other people as well. And, my daughter's been to the Lukewarm Hotel, and she tells me you guys were there as well.
Oh. Well, my apologies. I don't think I saw anyone there by how you described him, but...
Oh, no. She's only heard from what the staff were telling her about all of you.
Oh, okay.
But please, if you do not mind, it might take 10 to 20 minutes, and she goes over, Vilkus, that's on the double, okay? And he kind of just, like, dismisses her and goes, I got it, don't worry. He's just chopping away.
Alright. Well, thank you, Miss Fisk.
And she will, just a big old motherly smile.
Oops, certainly scooted. Sorry, she... word of what me and Alexander and the rest of the Dust Dusters did for Hope Haven, word traveled, and she insisted that we stay here for the night. Free of charge.
Goodness.
And, not realizing how Atasi is staring, Lucy will say, yeah, and she said she also has, like, a daughter that, well, she's in the forest right now, and she should be on the way back, but if she's not, I guess keep an eye out for her as we're traveling through. She's on the way to Hackonstead.
Well, seems simple enough.
Yeah, I mean, if she's a registered Argon, I'm sure she's fine. This is so cool.
Noah speaks in Fae and says, well, now I feel bad for leaving Artemis out of
Speaks
the
in
conversation."
Fae.
Hello. Adnis looks at you, Artemis goes, I don't know. I don't speak fairy.
But you're supposed to be the info seeker.
You are such a shit info broker, Adnis.
You see his cat ears kind of like flop down. He goes, I gather info, but I'm not a polyglot.
There's difference, Artemis.
Yeah, and he huffs his chest and crosses his arms. He looks very upset.
Oh.
It's okay. We can always switch to another language. Surely everyone here speaks this, and I'll turn to Atas and go, because everyone here should be able to speak Draconic,
Setting
right?
the scene.
Just turn is like, wait, how many languages do you have in the form of accessories?
Just the two. I have this one for Draconic, and I have another one that is yeah.
Wait, is the other one Fae, or do you just know Fae?
Oh, I just know Fae.
So what's the other one?
Utopian. I picked it up in Silverwall.
I'll kind of pause for a moment and go, I think I remember that, but why would you have that one on over... I feel like Draconic at this point is much more common than Utopian.
I forgot to take it off.
You forgot to take off a choker. You just left it on the entire time?
For like
Lucy looks at you
2
smiling.
months. Should probably get that done when I get home.
The food should be almost here, though. I ordered. I think the mention was like a bunch of beef kebabs.
Ah, kebab.
Nairobi
love
brings
me
over
my-
And almost
the food.
as if on cue.
Here you go, everyone. Big portions for each of you, and if you can't finish them, have them
Beat us
for
up?
breakfast.
Oh, okay.
No throwing away food. Not on my premises, okay?
Oh, there's one thing we don't do. We don't waste food.
Noah just like puts his plate in between himself, Devora, and Atasi.
Let me know if any of you need anything, okay?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Thanks. Artemis still says in Draconic.
And Nairobi says back, "You're welcome in Draconic." We'll have these fellas. They came here for dinner, but they're gonna head out as they wave at all of you before making their way. They were just here for dinner. Let me do this. Any conversations all of you have, or did you want to skip forward? Because you guys are just enjoying good food, fried rice, beef and kebab.
I'll say
Oh,
Lucy will finish pretty fast because she's just a fast eater, and she'll kind of stand up and say, "I'm gonna go get some air."
You see now, by the time Lucia finishes her dish, Noah has finished like one piece of kebab.
I'm gonna go get some fresh air. Lucy will walk out. 3 times now.
A bastion of Terran civilization, but brought down by its own hubris. Some say by the wrath of the gods here. Others say destroyed by Terra's own hand. I hope you have found the answers you were looking for.
Well, I'm still looking for the answers, actually. But I'm hopeful looking towards the future. And Lucia will look towards the other tech priest and say, "Sorry, didn't want to interrupt you what the both of you were talking about. I just want to come over and say hello to an old acquaintance."
So before you go speak to Calvin the Cool, who is a catfolk in a black trench coat, but he's taken it off and you just see like a white tank that he's wearing.
Oh, good, because I'm shoving him in
What?
the river.
What? What is I'll say Adnis finishes up his food. He was pretty hungry, so he eats up food pretty quickly. He takes his plate over. I'll say I think I'm gonna hit the sack early tonight, guys. I'll see you all in the morning when we meet Twilight once again.
Why'd I have to say it like that?
And Adnis is taking the room on the top right.
Oh,
I
that's fine. Noah.
have not actually looked at the room situation.
I know Alexander's on the family plan. He's definitely using his like mother's account or something.
Noah just pulls out, like, imagine the trashiest romance novel you can. That's what Noah reads.
It's a romance novel between it's a very highly fictionalized, and it's already kind of ambiguous as it is because it happened a long time ago, but it's of Aramir and Salin, the Twilight King and Queen. And it's basically like a very like pulp like a nautical adventure romance.
Yeah.
So you read that and you're like, wow, this is awesome. They should make a film adaptation of this. Unless Noah's like one of the purists, so like no adaptation will ever satisfy
Yeah,
him.
no. He is a book purist.
Understandable.
Absolutely.
Nothing. Just kind of.
No,
It's
no.
small talk, I
You
just-
said catch me, like one would catch a fish. Is that correct? Are you insinuating
It was-
that I am fish to be drawn to your bait?
No, not at all. It was just
I
the
see.
way to greet somebody.
I like your glasses.
I like your glasses.
Thanks. They're actually pixelated.
Does he say that, or is that you adding?
No,
texture
he
to-
actually says that.
Okay. Really? Can I touch him?
No, you're not cool enough.
What? I'm not cool. Well, how can I be cool? I thought it was pretty cool. So I thought it was pretty cool already. Like the two assassins kidnapped these kids.
Yeah, not much we could have done afterward. Adnis is not a fighter, and I couldn't take on two well-versed assassins by myself. As cool as I am, I do not have the fighting capabilities yet. I was still a bit of a rookie then. My cool factor
Okay.
was not enough to compensate.
Well, what happened to the case?
You could say it's gone cold, but now that you're here, I guess we could say it's officially closed.
What?
That's right, kid. I was looking into your file.
Oh shit! Wait,
And he pulls out a cigarette and starts smoking.
so... Oh, so you and Adnis were... I guess on both me and Dex's case, huh?
Let's just say Javier owed something to the guild, and he skipped out on payment.
Wait a minute. I'm just gonna look to Calvin the Cool and say, do you know what happened to my parents?
They were killed. And from what I learned from the police reports, it didn't look like it was an outside force that came in. No signs of forced entry. No signs of entry at any point. But footprints leading out. Meaning they were already attacked when someone was inside. He takes another drag of a cigarette.
Huh. I was gonna say that's not what he's told me all these times, but
Your
he's
brother
probably lying.
has been lying to you repeatedly to your wife. I can understand if you think you can believe this lie.
Well, do you have any... I was gonna ask evidence, but there's really not much evidence, is there?
No, kid. Just my theory. The police case went cold, and they didn't want to investigate, let's just say, a couple that were connected to Black Mirror. After all, this was Reinhold, kid.
And Reinhold's a shit show.
I should know. I was born there. He took another drag.
I'm gonna look at him and shake my head and go like, I'm so sorry.
They're expensive, I'll tell you that. Not everyone's got access to them. But once you do, I'd say it ups your cool factor. And these pixelated glasses, well, it actually filters out the world, so it's very pixelated. In fact, you look like a blocky woman right now, actually.
Don't you get tired of seeing the world like that?
Yeah, no, it's not good for my eyesight. I usually take them off, during bed.
You should probably just take them off.
No, not in front of you. We don't know each other that well. We've only just known each other. Maybe once we've known each other for years, or perhaps on separate instances when fate takes us.
Yeah, you really are a cool guy, Calvin.
I know. He takes another drag of a cigarette.
I leave. I also wanted to ask you, since you did work with Adnis, you know anything about this Lord Hawkwood fella?
Lord Eden Hawkwood. Accomplished Argonaut. Old fella. Probably even knows Dracula himself, but that's just my theory. And you didn't hear that from me. Took another drag of a cigarette.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Exactly. You only heard it from the wind, and the planet Mercury speaking to you directly.
I mean, as an Ashara Druid, I'm very one with nature and the planet, so yeah.
That's right. That's why you let those things hang loose, so you can breathe in.
Is he gonna finish?
No.
Well, I'll be sure to get a thorough examination next time we speak, Calvin. Lucy will turn and walk away with her beer. Wow, what a cool guy.
You
Wait,
see Artemis?
what's
Is
what's
Artemis just like doing like
what's-
push-ups or something?
Oh,
What's Artemis doing?
Yeah, probably doing push-ups.
You should push her off.
She's doing like handstand push-ups.
Let's see,
Oh, sure.
perception. It just barely passes.
Lucia will, beer in hand, walk up behind Artemis and abruptly go, "Hey Artemis, what you doing?"
She'll like turn around. Ah! Oh! Oh!
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Just now.
Oh. Who's that?
We were walking by and he was like just around the corner. He was just fishing. I was just curious, and because Adnis has said that he had worked with him in the past, so I just wanted to talk about that. He was a pretty cool guy.
Oh. Huh.
It's
Is that where you
pretty
got the
good.
beer from?
Yeah, it's pink lemonade.
Oh. No thanks. I'm in the middle of my nightly routine, so beer is...
Nightly routine being you training.
Yes?
Okay. Lucy will set the beer down and get next to you and say, "Mind if I join you?" It's good to be in good shape.
Yeah, sure.
Flop. He doesn't use any Gen Z terms.
Please, Lucy, I get it. They jump for the beef. That's riskier. I get it.
He does send you a photo of him and Rose, and and then the second photo is Ishmael holding her and him giving a thumbs up, and Isaac captioning it. I hope he doesn't drop her.
And then Ishmael text Lucy a picture of like him holding Rose by her ankle, going like he just like Achilles, am I right, Lucy?
And then Samson sends you a photo, and it's like it's Rose's clothes, but there's like a lot of like red splatter all around, and Samson goes, "No." But it's like painfully obvious. It's like splashed tomato.
Like ketchup or something. Yeah, but yeah, I'm more of a morning person than anything. I'm probably going like a small jog before we head out. Lots of early morning shit. Ugh, boring, but I'm sure honestly a lot of that is going to change when at least the both of us start our Argonaut careers.
Yeah, I
You
I
put any
don't
more
think
thought
we'll
into that?
well, especially after suspension, temporary as it is, it has given me more time to think, and being on the road again, and well, I would love to be an Argonaut, I think. A proper one, though perhaps to my own schedule, so we might not work much together.
It'll be nice to have friends in the business, right?
That's true. And to make more friends with other people who have the night shift. It's nothing. It's
No, come on, Artemis. And Lucy's gonna like lightly poke Artemis's cheek and say, "It's not nothing if it's bothering you."
it's it was just a lot. I know you try to burden the responsibility, but it's saving those other reflections, doing what we did. Yeah, I don't know a lot about this politicking or this bigger picture stuff, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Artemis, me too. And Lucy looks genuinely exhausted.
Human too. Or
The leader title is very loose. I'm just the one that makes all the decisions, and I'm just hoping you guys can see my idea, or at least try to, or at least back it up in some way.
of course, otherwise I wouldn't stick around.
Yeah, and I appreciate you doing that.
Sometimes I've been in the leader position for other groups, and well, if you had been in them, you'd have surely left. I take a very direct, blunt approach.
Uratas go blunt.
Yeah, from the way I saw you fighting for the first time, I can imagine how most of your decisions played out.
It's just it's not something that bothers me, but I know it probably should. It bothers Alvarain, and he was like formally trained as a soldier, or so he says.
What about how violent you get?
Yeah, that sort of also troubled me. It's I don't know, it's something I've always been like. But I try not to be.
Well, I guess to your point, there are some instances where sometimes you just gotta like brute force your way through things and take fights head on. There's nothing wrong with that.
Say, it's been some time since you learned this and revealed it to us. But being a reflection.
Yeah, what about it?
Do you mind me asking how you feel about it?
So kind of look to Atasi and then kind of look up at the dark sky, the stars. Or, per se, it's simulated, but it's like looking like a night sky, right?
Yeah, like off in the distance, little ways to the east, to your guys' east. You can see in the distance the stars, and and of course you could see the planets Venus and Earth from a distance as well, or Terra, I should say.
Well,
Feel about you. If I meet the other one, I'll be curious about them as a different person.
Yeah,
Though maybe I mistake her for you.
Lucy's gonna look up and down herself and say, I'm pretty sure we were at least how we dress is going to be pretty distinct.
Let's hope so, but who knows how many traits you guys still carry between you.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, it is like twins.
Yeah. I mean, from how Alexander and Alexander were. I mean, that was just like the same dude personality-wise and the way they thought and everything.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was weird seeing Alexander with 2 eyes, wasn't it?
Gates,
Eventually-
God's rest his soul.
No. He did not come from the pearly gates.
Well, he's in heaven. God's rest his soul.
No, he is not at the pearly gates. Oh my God, he's at hell.
Oh no!
Tasha just breaks down crying.
Atasi, I'm pretty sure Artemis is trying to say that Alvarine is alive and well at home.
He's a vampire?
No, he's not. No, he's not dead. He's not a vampire.
Then how is he alive?
He just is.
But he's at the point where he die of old age.
No,
He
He's
said he would die
50.
by 40.
That was probably a bad joke he was saying.
Yeah, they were wearing like armor, like big armor, and they had guns, big shooty. Pew pew.
I will sit up in bed and go, where did you see these two?
They went to Hakonstead,
Oh, good God.
and they had another guy with long hair like you. But not like he had brown hair, and he spoke with the Fredonian accent.
Yes, Alright. We'll get out of bed. We'll put on some flip-flops.
Do you leave your phone behind or you take your phone with you?
I take my phone.
Because Natasha was trying to watch.
And then I will... So I'm just like wearing just shorts and a t-shirt. Some flip-flops.
Do you leave your phone behind or you take your phone with you?
I take my phone.
Because Natasha was trying to watch.
And then I will... So I'm just like wearing just shorts and a t-shirt. Just very hastily just covering my eye.
So, Artemis, what's your favorite ice cream?
That's
Uh,
fucking
Ice cream for ice cream.
Oh, hey, Atasi.
You too.
Hmm?
huh?
Look,
hey.
Alexander, I said that they were jokes. There was nothing.
Atasi
didn't-
says there are Fredonians in Hawkinstead.
Okay.
As in the type that CD was.
Oh.
Movie.
Oh, what you
Yeah.
watching?
Movie.
It was Demolition Man.
That's a good movie.
Alexander, can I watch with you?
Very well, but I'm going to bed right after.
Okay. She
watches
flies around very excitedly.
Maybe he'll have to put on like draconic subtitles for her.
Draconic dub.
It's just all like really deep pitched.
Alexander, can you turn on the draconic dub? And he's like watching the Minecraft movie. He was like, oh yeah, fine, why not?
not the song sung in Draconic.
Popular by now,
his
yeah.
ass would not. They would be like, oh, we're not getting a bum cop from Rainbow. What are you?
I'm a war hero.
Man, shut the fuck up. You ain't a war hero.
Yeah, Quintus joined Big Barney's dad in Normandy.
Dude, he held Big Barney's dad in his arms as he was dying.
Dude.
Oh my god, I have to get art of that. Oh, Solstice, I call to you.
We just gotta make it as contrived as possible. And it's art of Quolis holding his Dad.
SpongeBob.
And then you have William in the back who just covering fire.
He's like, you bastards!
You are the greatest man I've ever known!
You have a kid at home. You have a kid at home.
Would William refer to Germans as Krauts? That's a question. I forget.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, no,
germophobia
Yosef.
Around them or how they're supposed to act, but I mean, it'd be hypocritical if I were to. If it would be hypocritical of me to treat him any different just because he is a vampire, given my own condition, right?
Well, you know, there is a difference between vampires and a reflection.
True. I mean, again, granted, I don't know much, but
Like, you know,
are vampires all stereotypical cold-blooded killers, just killing just to suck the blood out of their victims?
Well, they do suck blood.
How does that whole process even work anyway? Like, isn't it like where if you suck someone's blood, they automatically become a vampire?
Oh, does Artemis know?
Vampire lore check. Again, it isn't like a hard or fast thing. If you're powerful in a vampire, you might not even be recognized in a political capacity, but you could give someone vampirism. But it is usually like some of the more older and powerful vampires that create the vampire spawn, or just outright vampires. And of course, there is a hierarchy. Ghouls are not related to vampires because they originate from the jinn. They are not from humans, but humans can become ghouls. So Artemis, you cannot give someone vampirism, at least right now, especially since you are so far removed from your vampire connection and you haven't been feasting on humanoids to really feel that strength and connection. Now, someone like Lord Hawkwood, he could most certainly give someone vampirism, especially from his decades or even centuries of experience.
Hierarchy to
There's a
grant
vampire-
vampirism.
There's a vampire hierarchy?
I mean, they are. They have some sort of society over in Kursai, I think. So it stands to reason that it works similarly.
Huh.
Like a nobles and monarchs.
Nobles and monarchs for this specific, like...
Affliction, yes.
Yeah, affliction, yeah, that's the way to put it. I was trying to think of how to say it without just sounding offensive.
Well, there is no vampires to offend here. No.
The troll scratches his butt, and the wind continues to blow in your direction.
Lucia will say, yeah, I suppose. Naiveness speaking. But I don't think I would have any prejudices unless, although one was trying to kill me.
I suppose that would instill fear in that case. Well, I think I'm finished up.
Okay, well, Lucia will get up and grab her burr, finish it, and go like, that was really good. Let's make lemonade. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and head to bed. I'm rightfully tired. We have a long day tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll be up. I'll be in my room in a bit.
Okay, well, don't take too long. Lucia will wave Artemis goodbye. Oh my god, Alexander's dead. Alvin look towards her direction as the door opens.
No, he's too busy eating right now. He doesn't want to give Lucy unwanted attention.
No, it's okay. Lucy ignores him.
Because she's cool.
Oh, you already took this room. My bad. Oh, my bad.
You open the door and Noah's just like reading a book. You see the cover is like the most like smut cover you've ever seen. Like, it's like just like a woman without her top, like holding her hands over her chest while like a man's hugging her.
He's just gonna look, see what you're reading, and go, my apologies, I didn't mean to disturb you.
No, like gets her book. He was like sitting in like gremlin position in front of the book. And I was like, my apologies.
And you close the door and you make your way to your private lodge.
The plot twist is that the actual Vulcan is in there. They see them up.
He uses his ult and he launches rockets directly at your coordinates. But you know, you look up, probably some Ophiri structure. Maybe it was created by some scientists on Terra, but probably Ophiri, because it was around long. Your parents spoke about it, and there are other undead who spoke about it. Some people call it the Dawn Sol. It is a corrupted name of the word dungeon or donjon. So there's that. It is like a artificial eye hanging above.
Yeah, she I think Artemis sits down and reflect.
You reflect. Better to sate your appetite now than to risk carnage later.
It won't. I won't let it. And she tapers off.
Very well. But consider, I will need you at your strongest. I cannot have you at a disadvantage, should your brother prove meddlesome. I will see you at Hakonstead. Arieti. The door will slowly open, and he will just barely on his float above the floorboard. He will just close the door as a cold gust of wind blows through.
Different doors. But
Adness's door is slightly ajar.
No, I couldn't do that to him. Not after the bullying he did.
But it would be so easy. And if anyone were to suffer, I mean, Adness is just a driver. He doesn't even speak Draconic or Fey. If anyone was gonna suffer the risk of being drained, why not the coach driver?
Think. God. Actually walk out and try to find Lucia's door.
It's right across from yours.
Damn. She will knock.
Takes a moment. Lucia will get
You're
up.
No, she didn't fall.
Lucia will open the door. She's just like wearing like a tank top and like underwear, and she'll look and go, "Yeah, Artemis,
I'm sorry.
you have a bad dream? Need a cuddle?"
Could I come in?
Yeah, of course.
Now the real
Lucia will-
vampire Yuri starts.
Lucia will
Artemis is like looking down at the floor, hiding her face.
something the matter?
You know the talk we had just this evening?
About what ice cream you like? Did you come up with an answer?
Vampires.
Sorry. And Lucia's just gonna like kind of like smack her face and go like, "Sorry, it's still pretty early into the morning." Yeah. We had a small talk about vampires, yeah.
And Aiden?
Yeah. What about Mr. Hawkwood? We have to meet him later today. That's interesting. How did the Ashar let you in? Or don't they have like a tight like rules against that? I mean, yeah, rules against me.
You're pretty relaxed. I'm a vampire. It's not a joke.
No, I understand it's not a joke. I'm trying to treat this with the seriousness and delicacy that or not delicate. Fuck, not delicacy.
Very delicious. Artemis, snack on that neck.
Just like my thigh.
Vampire pussy.
I'm trying to treat this as a very delicate matter, so I'm not. Don't take me being very calm as like me dismissing your claims or anything. I'm just trying to give this as the most serious like way I could actually like take this information.
Drank from a bear once, and
Ugh.
it's not ideal.
Dude, again, you might not know the specifics of it, but do you know, I mean, like, why you can't just stick to like the blood of animals?
I don't know what it is. It's something in my body. It makes me hate the taste of anything that isn't human blood, almost. I mean, I can taste food, but it's dull. And
There's there's a look of like sympathy and sadness on Lucia's like kind of face as you continue to explain
What
this.
do you
want to do?
Step. Lucy, you have to step away.
Lucy will let go of the hug and kind of back up a bit and say,
Like, Artemis is like drooling.
It's the cat drool gif.
Lucia will put up a hand and say, I did that also not only just to comfort you, but also to show I guess how much I trust you. Although you were on the verge of giving into your temptations, like, and Lucia's like pointing to, like the drool coming out of Artemis's mouth.
You took a ruler.
And pay attention. No, what do you mean? What do you mean by like you don't know what Aiden could do to you? Like, do you think he has some sort of like power to control you?
Can sense me, so maybe, or maybe he just makes it easy. This is almost too much. Maybe I should retire.
Hey, how about this? When we get to Hackonstead, after we get whatever information we need to get from Mr. Hawkwood, me and you can try and sit down and talk with him and figure more things out.
Dubbed human cattle and human slaves. They're alive. It's usually they're not treated so horribly that they perish. After all, that is their main
food.
supply. Yeah, for some of the really heinous ghouls, literally like consumed. But for most of the vampires, they usually try to keep them around alive so they can drain them in the long term. At least those that are smarter about it. Of course, you have the more monstrous strigoi that get carried away as well. The moroi are the ones that look like Artemis. They are the more they're the ones that use subterfuge. They're the ones that look human, and for all intents and purposes, can be human. The strigoi are the more monstrous ones, like Count, like Nosferatu.
Yeah. So, Lucia will say,
Because I get tired or something. It's almost coincidental that I come back to my senses. I can't control it.
well, when we speak to Mr. Hawkwood, maybe he'll be able to give you a way to control it. be able to control your urges and your powers and what comes from being a vampire.
Maybe.
Again, I'm sorry if I'm sounding not as apathetic or not taking this as seriously as I should or could, but
No, you are...
really, I'm trying to remain down to earth with all this.
No. You give good advice, Lucia. This is why you are the leader. And
Yeah, of
I
course.
think...
Hey, like I said, you can come to me if you have any issues or anything comes up.
For you.
I'll take your word for it, Artemis.
And one last thing.
Hmm?
If a strange voice comes knocking on your door, don't welcome them in. Not like you did now. And she opens the door. We have rules.
Oh shit, you do. God, oh my god, I completely forgot.
It's okay. Who could have
Oh.
thought that? Your dear friend has been lying to you about her identity, huh?
Well, I mean, in my case, I've been doing it for a long ass time too.
But I was aware. Good night, Lucia.
Good night, Artemis. And stay safe out there, alright?
You too. To hog so much time as Artemis.
As you open the door, you see Lord Hawkwood, his fangs buried in Nairobi Fisk's neck, as he is got one hand fondling her left breast, as they both look like they're in the middle of copulating, and he is feasting. And as she's as she is like on like bent over the table, her face is like down, moaning in pleasure. His blood drips down from his chin onto his beard and onto her back, and he makes eye contact with you, Artemis, before do you close the door?
Oh, shit. That's crazy.
Room for one more?
Isn't she like an otter or something? She's a squirrel.
I'm sorry.
Her two rooms.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, is she able to open her...
You can open it through the window.
Okay, good, because in that case, that's what she's gonna do. She's stumbling across and jumps out.
You close the door,
Oh,
or
man.
you close the window. You watch as this fetchling, perhaps. You're not quite sure what this creature is, but she's got like a long pipe. She's just smoking it. She looks over in your direction.
Artemis, like, takes a quick glance and then looks away. Just wanders off as if there's nothing strange going on.
Indeed, nothing strange has gone on tonight. For tonight, you all rest well. Some of you in ignorance, some of you with hidden occult knowledge.
Yay! Alicia awakens well rested.
And that is where we'll end the session.